lot of football, Stugotz, to get to. College as well, professional football. I don't like that college football perpetually gets swamped here by the time we get to Monday because of all the action on Sundays. But you have a number of things in professional football happening that are interesting. First of all, like we all had it before the season started, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, and Puka Nacua are on pace to have more yards than Calvin Johnson and his single-season yardage record. So 3 receivers are on pace to have more yards than anyone has ever had in a season. Jamar Chase is not one of them.
No.
The Bengals, Stugotz, if you look at, based on the stat success rate, which is a great stat, Stugotz, just in name alone, never mind the formula for it, success rate for quarterbacks, you are obligated to love that stat.
Am I?
Here are your bottom quarterbacks in the league and their success rate this season. These are the bottom ones, Stugotz, starting from the top of the bottom.
Okay, top of the bottom.
Derek Carr is the top of the bottom in terms of success rate. Yesterday, Field Yates pointed this out. Alvin Kamara caught 13 passes yesterday out of the backfield. You want to guess for how many yards?
87.
33.
What?
The previous low for 13 catches was 71. Do you know how pathetic your offense is when you're throwing 13 times to Alvin Kamara and he's getting you 33 yards?
I know.
Yes, you do know.
I know.
Yes.
No one knows better.
Yes,
Yep.
No one knows better, actually. Ritter is the second from the top of the bottom.
Okay.
Gardner Minshew, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts is here.
Huh.
Bryce Young. And here's the bottom of the bottom. Joe Burrow, bottom of the bottom. Ryan Tannehill, bottom of the bottom. Zach Wilson, bottom of the bottom. But there is someone below Zach Wilson. Want to guess? Looking at you, Jessica.
I don't want to talk about
This
it.
could
No
go
one,
in
no
many
one wants to
directions.
listen to anything about the Steelers. It's not. They're not worth mentioning.
What
on
happened
any
to the rich old
platform.
lady drinking wine who loves
She's
to?
so hammered. She's been passed out for weeks. Actually, I think she died of alcohol poisoning after the Raiders game.
Now I'm kind of hoping it's Justin Fields just to corner you.
Yes.
He's not in here. He's not in the
That's
bottom of the.
amazing.
Weird.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
He
But
had a, well, he
Great
had a
first
career
half
high.
yesterday.
Yeah. That game. It all
Weird
changed
game.
with one move.
Yeah.
One head coach adjustment. Do you know what it was? Cutting the sleeves off.
we have to get still of that to show people. But that none of those things, Stugotz, that I think was the biggest story of the weekend. Because you've got some stats here. Brock Purdy completed 95.2% of his passes
He's
yesterday.
good. Yeah.
20 of 21. These are two stats that are a little bit crazy. The 49ers have gone 30-plus points in 7 straight games. Last people who did that, greatest show on turf. One of the greatest offenses we have ever seen. Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk. Greatest show on turf, 7 straight games of 30 or more. The Bears, in the history of the sport, the Bears have now allowed 14 straight games of 25 or more points. No one's ever done that. It's the longest streak in the history of scoring and bad defense and losing football games to allow 25 points in 14 straight games.
Do you know the last time the Bears won a game? I don't either. It was so long ago. It was early in the 2022 season. It's been forever. They're a absolute dumpster fire. Their coach is probably going to get fired, it sounds like. He's completely mismanaging everything from Justin Fields to the Chase Claypool potential trade that they want
What's
to make.
happening there? What is that?
Enough of
So
Claypool.
bizarre.
I'm tired of
it's
him.
So
Seriously.
it's so bizarre. So now they're saying that Eberflus totally mishandled this. First he said that Claypool decided to stay home. Then he said that they asked him to stay home. In the meantime, if they want to trade him, they probably shouldn't be doing that. It doesn't make any sense. And
They traded a second-round pick to get
He
him.
looks
Yes,
the
the Steelers
part.
got-
He
the
looks
Steelers
like
got
someone who would be good at receiving a football successfully.
his rookie season with the Steelers, he was very good, and then something went wrong. Also, the Steelers' offense has been atrocious for 3 years, so I don't know.
Well, Pickett's
who
last.
you blame. I don't take the benefit of the doubt on the Bears coaching staff or the Steelers offensive staff. Chase Claypool also is not blameless. He doesn't seem like he's handled any of it very well either, but it is a complete disaster. And the Bears have the 2 top picks in next year's draft. They should not be allowed to draft those. They should have to give those away. It is bad and it is sad. They might leave Chicago. I don't know. There's a whole thing with Soldier Field. They might go to Arlington Heights. I don't know what happens. Soldier Field is an abomination to architecture and to God himself. It's sad and it's bad, and everyone should feel bad.
The stats are amazing, really, in terms of Jay Cutler is their best statistical quarterback ever, and Justin Jefferson already has more receiving yards than any Bears receiver has had for a career. And now this is the most dreadful version of them. They lose to Sean Payton, who gave up 70 yesterday. They got a lead.
Last week.
A big lead, yes, thank you. They lost by 50 a week ago to the Dolphins. But Sean Payton, when did he do this? Why did he rip off his sleeves? What was the story behind that?
Because they were down 28-7, Dan. Yeah. And it was time for a change.
Yep.
And
Little
sometimes,
jolt. Yeah.
when the going gets tough, some people like to roll up their sleeves. Not Sean Payton. He'll just cut the sleeves off.
Yep.
I have not yet gotten to what I believe is the story yesterday of all football stories, and I'm headed there. But one more. Who do you think had the single best feeling playing football yesterday? Just one person. You can only choose the feeling that person had on Sunday playing football in front of many, many people. If you can only choose one feeling for the day that you would like to know what that felt like, what would you choose? Because I have, in a game played by, an uninteresting game, played by a winless team, I have 2 guys running down the field who I believe felt the best thing in a game they lost. They are still winless. The best thing felt by anyone in football yesterday.
Really?
It's a 99-yard pick six. That's the best feeling. Grabbing Kirk Cousins' pass at the goal line and going. Yeah. But I want you to go back and look at that video, because right behind that guy, Stugotz, his teammate, number 29, I have no idea who this is, not only makes up all the yardage behind him, 2, steamrolled Kirk Cousins, who was trying to be gamey, gritty guy.
Lined him up for like 50 yards. Just lined Cousins up.
Lined Cousins up, but then after that also gratuitously. It's already in the end zone. There's no need for this. He took out number 17 for the Vikings too, like just in the end zone, took him out with 2 blocks and showed amazing speed. I want to talk to whoever this person is and ask him about that play, because it looked like sunshine. And remember the Titans at the end getting blocks running down the sideline. Perfect cinematic theatrical blocks. No one ever gets that.
I thought you were going to say DJ Reed last night when he just sprinted past Patrick Mahomes. You must feel so free when you get to run that fast on a football field with no one touching you.
That's what pick six guy got.
It was beautiful.
But you're saying the guy who lined up Kirk Cousins had a better time.
I'm saying that felt as good as a football player can feel it. Because that guy is getting celebrated so much by his teammates today. To sprint 100 yards with your teammate, to take out their quarterback and their wide receiver totally gratuitously, but legally in the end zone. They looked like a movie shot, the way that you would want to block people.
He was so happy that Kirk kept pursuing. Like, he was like, really? He's going to go through with this?
Really?
I kind of wanted to see what he was going to do, to be honest.
What Kirk was going to do.
Yeah, wanted to see him try to make the tackle.
Mike, you thought college football produced a better hit this weekend.
No question.
A more I want this from my football movies hit.
No question. Look, if you're on your phone right now, run an X search on Jaden Daniels' hit, please. I can't. Someone paid me $50. Yeah, someone paid me $50 on Venmo. Go to Twitter right now.
You're the only person I know who says X. I actually didn't know what you were talking about for a second.
I'm doing my best. I'm trying to call it what it's called. Those are rules in society that I try to adhere to, and they want me to call them by their name. Damn it, it's X, but also Twitter.
What do you call Robbie Chosen?
It's Robbie Chosen now. Yeah, it's Robbie Chosen. I'm not going to call him Robbie Anderson. I'm doing my best here, folks, day in and day out. So watch this Jaden Daniels hit, please, because Jaden Daniels he's kind of got that RG3 gene where he finds a way to get blown up in ways that defy logic. He gets blown up in ways like
Just saw it.
like if
It's great.
he looked like if we put Jeremy
So
Taché
great.
in the
It's so
backfield
great.
and we're like, all right, Jeremy, we're gonna run an off tackle with you. It would look exactly like that. It happens to Jaden Daniels quite a
No,
bit.
Wait, why are we picking on Jeremy? Any of us would look like that.
I would not.
I wouldn't. It would look different.
Okay.
I'm bigger.
We're
bigger guys.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't also be totally obliterated.
Yeah, I would
I'm
probably
just-
die if I got that hit, but I just wouldn't.
I wouldn't go flying
fly through
backward
the
because
air.
it's just harder to make someone my weight move.
You
with
would,
that.
and it would be funnier because you're bigger.
My spleen would come out of my butthole if I received that hit. Just spleen out the butt instantaneously. But I think I'd at least keep 1 foot on the ground.
I think the funniest part of that
It may be
is-
severed from my body, but a foot staying on the ground.
Jaden Daniels is 6'3", 205 pounds. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you guys talking about?
Brother, I'm bigger than Jaden Daniels.
Really?
Sorry.
regardless, whether it's 25 pounds or 50 pounds, I am bigger as well. But regardless, the way the football came out, Stugotz, was it is the textbook definition of coughing something up. It's the way a watermelon seed would come flying out of a watermelon, or a soda machine that wasn't working would discharge a can that was working that a soda machine that was aggressive, that doesn't just let things drop in. But
It came out of his mouth. You're
Sort of. I mean, the football, it might as well have come out of his mouth from the way it was coughed up in the wrong direction, totally backward.
Doesn't matter if there's security guards or if it's their defenders. Ole Miss was putting on some hits.
He was, we got to enjoy Brian Kelly losing again.
Yeah.
It's awesome. LSU fans do not seem to be managing well. And to be fair, they have 2 losses in the month of September. That pretty much eliminates them from the playoff, although technically that's not how, the playoff works. But a 2-loss team has never made it in the 4-team system. So they still have a tough
they're
SEC
not that
West
good.
schedule coming up. Their offense is pretty good.
He's really
Their
good,
defense
Jaden
has
Daniels.
gotten so many points scored on them in the last 6 games.
I still haven't gotten to the amazing football thing that I want to get to. It's not even Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry has now thrown 7 passes and either completed 6 or 7 of them and 4 of them for touchdowns, because no one is expecting anything other than cover your face. Here he comes. Oh my God, he's throwing the football now. It is such a great tactic to be terrified of him running into you, and then he just tosses the ball right over your head.
We will get to Dan's most interesting thing from the football weekend in a moment, but we have video that's just come across the wire, and we need to get to it urgently. It appears that Jimmy Butler is following Aaron Rodgers' tradition of media day hijinks, because last year he showed up with the dreads, and media entities were forced to use that as the image all season long before they realized, like Joe Cronin, we're not going to give you this.
Aaron Rodgers showed up as Nick Cage in Con Air, correct?
He famously always goes into media day with a mustache, so you have to use that photo all season long. Jimmy Butler's taken this next level, first with the dreads, but this year he's got a whole new look. This video comes in courtesy of the Miami Heat on Twitter and X. And you can see Jimmy Butler has gone emo. Yeah. He's got lip rings. He's got emo hair. He is forcing this to be the photo when ESPN covers
last year
the NBA.
He was mad. I remember one of the stories that came out during the postseason is he was mad that they were using his video game picture instead of his media day picture. Eventually, no, the partners would not put him up there looking ridiculous, but he's trying to make their jobs actively harder by showing up in a disguise so that they have to use when saying the Heat play the Knicks on network television, so that they have to use only the photo from media day. They did it for half a season, but Mike, how would you
got
describe
eyebrow rings? He's got nose
who's
rings.
got hair like that though? Who?
Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Yeah, he's singing lead from My Chemical Romance right now.
There's Heat Media walking him into the room, and yes, that's going to be funny visually. It's also going to be funny to hear him make news today looking like that, because if he has anything interesting to say on Lillard, it will have to be clipped and then used by.
And he knows that.
He needs to go out of his way to see how he can immediately show people how ridiculous that he looks. Because I don't know who else has hair like that. Mike Myers in a wig.
I'm being told that this video, the smile that Jimmy Butler gives, is because he walks into this room and our own Chris Cody is laughing at him, and this is a reaction to Chris Cody's laugh when he walks into the room, because we have sound right here.
That was the exclusive sound of Chris Cody's
One more
laugh.
time. One more time.
Let's play it back.
One more time.
Okay.
I can't break character. Okay, don't make me break character right now. Yeah. Laugh it up.
Please make news. Rip somebody. Just rip somebody. I want to get Stugotz. I don't know if you saw this, but I've always thought, since he was at the University of Miami, that David Njoku is somebody who should be dominating at the tight end position. I don't think I've seen many athletes physically look the way that he does at that position, even understanding that the evolution of that position is all giant guys with athletic skill sets. But in Cleveland, this person has physically, since he's been at the University of Miami, been a man among men. And he also was somebody who did a good deal of partying. And I'm a little bit surprised, honestly, that he hasn't flamed out with how much fun he was having.
Word choice. Holy word choice.
I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten.
That he's still playing.
No,
right.
I mean, just that the partying hasn't caught up to him.
Okay.
But yesterday, when I read the story that came out before the Browns lost at home, the story was that he had been burned face and arms and was questionable for the game because the helmet hurt to wear. So that's some real scarring that is raw, and I don't know the nature of the accident. It was described as a kitchen accident, but the entrance to the stadium that this physical body had, wearing a mask, Stugotz, he's wearing a fur, and he is otherwise shirtless, and you can see what he's sculpted out of. But the mask is both menacing and cool. It's got no place to breathe from. It's just eyes. He looks a bit like a villainous superhero. Nobody made a better entrance into a stadium yesterday. That's really making something. That's an adjustment. That's really making something out of nothing when you've got scars all over you and you can't run around because the helmet hurts.
It was him or Taylor Swift,
Yeah,
right?
my
I mean,
God.
yeah.
Did you see her people that she came in with? I lost the word that I was going
Deadpool.
for. No. You showed up with Ryan Reynolds. You showed up with Wolverine. Lots of people there with Taylor, huh?
Yeah.
It's
And
becoming a bit of a distraction, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, here comes the men of the media establishment. The women are distracting Travis Kelce. Oh, it's Jessica Simpson, Tony Romo all over again.
I got to be honest. I told Billy earlier, I enjoy it. I think Taylor Swift is making football better and more entertaining. My wife was into the game last night. My daughters were into the game last night, not because of the Jets, not because of the Chiefs, because of Taylor Swift. And I love walking around my living room. I talk to Taylor because she thinks every game is a walk in the park. It's easy. Travis will score 2 or 3 touchdowns every game. Not so fast, my friend. I was wagging my finger at her. I was like, Taylor, not every week in the NFL was as easy as last week. Travis is not going to catch a touchdown for you every single week. I think Taylor Swift at your game makes your game feel like a really big game. I'd rather have her there than Joe Biden. How about that?
It's a recycled take.
you got it on God Bless Football?
Yeah.
If you want exclusive takes that are not yet recycled, although he may have stolen from whatever the morning show
What a
is on
strange
his way in.
comparison.
Why?
Like another pop star, I think.
Well, because what happened
was
was he was saying it's the biggest person that was there. I'm like, is this like what it used to feel like when the president was at your game? And then it became I'd rather her there than Joe Biden. So we skipped kind of like the in-between, and we just kind of got A to Z there without connecting the
this
dots.
is
unsportsmanlike, by
I
the way,
want
the
to
morning
explain
show,
to
ESPN
people,
Radio.
if you want the unspooled Stugotz first thing in the morning with his freshest material on a Monday morning, God bless football. Lucy, what is that?
Is it his freshest material?
I mean, it's the first time he's at a microphone. The jokes get refined. What it takes
Eventually they get good.
Takes 17 minutes to get to is him stumbling into, and I'd rather have Taylor Swift at my game than Joe Biden, which everyone would agree with.
I think
Not
that's
everyone.
like pretty universal.
Really?
She's a celebrity. He's a politician.
I don't know. Billy's getting tired of her. I mean, I don't know.
Well, he's getting tired because you're giving him 17 minutes to get to that as the punchline. And then you're recycling it here, and everyone's having the proper reaction, which is,
no one was in. I mean, when I did it this morning, Billy was in, Lucy was in, Fuentes was in on the take. No one was really in. I was going somewhere. I had nowhere else to go. I ran out of steam. I mean,
today there is nothing more important, for whatever the reason is, in our superficial place than fame. Fame is the thing. That's why everywhere I walk, someone's taking pictures of themselves. They want to be on social media being famous. And this is the most famous person. And now we get to gossip and be high schoolers, and she's dating the star tight end.
They're not dating. There was no chemistry yesterday whatsoever.
We can do that if you guys want to, or it's a publicity stunt because Travis Kelce is now on every commercial. Travis Kelce's management team, whatever it has done, has gotten a tight end more fame. Gronk's out here wandering onto the CBS morning show with Jimmy Johnson and the new star here for the new championship team.
Fox, fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My bad. What was that, Fox? He was on the Fox?
Yeah,
my bad.
Jimmy Johnson's only been there for 30
but,
years.
No, my bad. I meant Gronk.
Matt
Jimmy
Ryan
Johnson.
is the one on CBS, which makes sense.
Matty Ice.
You're right. Yeah. But Travis Kelce has replaced Gronk. He's got all the stuff Gronk has and wants to be famous.
He's replaced Patrick Mahomes.
It's not going to end well for him.
And Joe Biden.
Thank you. Finally.
Well, this is, and people want to talk about it. Like, it really does seem that people like to cluck and gossip about this. Now, I think you could put on the board days without talking about Taylor Swift to replace. I'm not going to say it, but you can.
They look good.
They had a really good game.
They look good.
Yeah.
Resilient.
Almost came back.
Tough love worked on Cormani McLean.
Can Taylor just go and enjoy life and just watch a football game without being hassled by everybody trying to take pictures of everything she does? Is that too much to ask? Because, it was very apparent that there was a camera that was just on her the entire game. It's not like they were looking for her. That camera was on her the entire game because one time they accidentally went to it after an interception that it was on there like an eighth of a second. And it's like, Taylor, and then it was gone. I was like, wait, what? Am I imagining things? Is this subliminal messaging? What's going? We get it. Taylor has a movie coming out. We're going to see her headed into the commercial for her own movie. Then we're going to see the commercial for her movie. We get it, right? But they went to her by accident at one point last night just because they were going to her so often and then quickly corrected it.
I like to pretend that the NBC truck had some sort of internal power struggle where they couldn't decide how much they wanted to show Taylor Swift. And so the director was like, take Taylor camera, ready, take. And then some guy came and tackled him and they put it back on the NFL game. They're like, too much Taylor. And they were fighting the whole time over it.
But we're also doing this one, Stugotz, and this is rarefied air. This is the stuff A-Rod was seeking when dating Madonna. The photographs of Kelce leaving her apartment for the first time, and the general scandal of people being able to
whoa! Where do I find those photos? I didn't see that.
Being able, the reports of him spending the night there for the first time, and in general, people being able to look in the skybox and do this one, Stugotz. Their relationship is moving too fast. It's moving too fast. Slow down with the hugging of all the friends and the moms. And slow down, Taylor. You're headed for heartbreak. Everybody slow down. It's moving too fast.
And enough of Donna Kelce. I mean,
Oh,
enough of her.
no.
I mean, 2 games, one day. Jake would State Farm. I mean, then she goes to the Kansas City. No, Dan, enough of her. I mean, seriously, capitalizing on all this, on her son.
The integrated insurance company ad by putting him next to her and everyone being like, oh my God, look who she's sitting by. The fact that works like made my soul hurt. It's like, you guys know that she's sitting next to the guy, because then we're all just going to say what company he works for, even though he's not a real celebrity. He's just a guy in a commercial. He's not even the original guy from a commercial. They replaced the original guy from the commercial with an actor who plays the guy in the commercial now. Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. This is like the worst of late stage capitalism.
Mom is going to have merch. She's going to have Kelce merch that goes on underwear. We're going to see. She's just going to do what Kiss. She's going to replace Kiss as the most commercial band of all time.
She turned us down at the Super Bowl. That's why Stugotz doesn't like her.
Exactly.